Welcome to Fairfax Files. Today we're going to cover the very mysterious case of Elisa Lam. Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old Canadian student from Vancouver, British Columbia. She was traveling alone in California and staying at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles when she mysteriously disappeared. Let's go back to the personal life of Elisa before we go more into the case and the details. Her full name, Elisa Lam. In Cantonese, Lam Ho Yi. Born April 30th, 1991 in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Her parents were David and Yina Lam, immigrants from Hong Kong who owned a restaurant in Burnaby, a suburb of Vancouver. She was very close to them, and they were deeply involved in the search for her after she went missing. Elisa was intelligent, creative, introspective, a young woman who loved writing, photography, and fashion. As a matter of fact, she ran a personal blog and she called it Esther Fields on Blogspot, where she shared her thoughts on life, mental health struggles, and daily experiences. Later, she moved to Tumblr, Nouvelle Nouveau, where she continued posting about books, art, and personal feelings. Elisa struggled with bipolar disorder and depression, which she was open about on her blog. She wrote about her ups and downs, mentioning how her mental health sometimes affected her studies and social life. According to her toxicology report, she was prescribed an antidepressant, a mood stabilizer for bipolar disorder, an antipsychotic often used for severe bipolar episodes, an antidepressant that also helps with anxiety. Her toxicology report showed she had very little medication in her system at the time of her death. This suggests she may have stopped taking some of her prescribed meds, which could have triggered a manic or psychotic episode. Bipolar disorder can cause delusions, paranoia, and risky behavior, possibly explaining her strange behavior in the elevator video. Elisa was a student at the University of British Columbia, though reports show that she was not officially enrolled at the time of her disappearance. She sometimes struggled academically due to her mental health. She wanted to travel and experience the world, but her parents, they were understandably protective and worried about her safety. Nevertheless, she went and embarked upon a solo trip to California in January 2013, possibly as a way to gain independence. She kept in touch with her parents daily, all while she was traveling. Before checking into the Cecil Hotel, she visited San Diego and posted happy updates online. Her parents became worried when she stopped calling, which led to the missing person investigation. January 2013 is when Elisa checked into the Cecil Hotel, more specifically on January 26. A place known for its dark history, the Cecil Hotel has had people in those halls and in those rooms that also included past murders, suicides, and connections to serial killers like Richard Ramirez. When Elisa checked into the Cecil Hotel, she was originally placed in a shared hostel-style room with other female travelers. However, after a few days, her roommates complained about her behavior. This led the hotel staff to move her to a private room. Now, reports say that the roommates found her behavior strange and unsettling, and she allegedly left notes for them that were described as odd and cryptic. Some sources claim she wrote messages like, "Go away, leave me alone, you're not welcome here." It's still unclear whether these notes were directed at her roommates or if she was experiencing paranoia or hallucinations due to her bipolar disorder. She also reportedly locked herself in the room and refused to answer when they spoke to her. People found this very strange, but other guests at the hotel did not report seeing anything overly alarming about Elisa, apart from the complaints from her roommates. A bookstore owner, Katie Orphan, was one of the last people to see Elisa alive. She said Elisa was friendly and talkative when she visited the last bookstore, buying books and gifts for her family. On the other hand, security footage showed Elisa acting erratically in the Cecil hotel elevator, leading many to believe she was either experiencing some type of a mental health crisis under the influence of something or being followed by someone. She was last seen on January 31st, just 5 days after registering into the Cecil Hotel. Surveillance footage from the hotel's elevator was released by police. The video showed Elisa acting strangely. She pressed multiple buttons. She peeked outside the elevator as if someone was following her. She moved her hands in an unusual manner as if she was talking to an unseen person. And if that wasn't strange enough, the elevator doors didn't close for an oddly long time. Let's get into the shocking discovery. It happened on February 19, 2013, less than a month of her disappearance. What happened was guests at the hotel complained about low water pressure and foul-smelling water. Maintenance workers checked the rooftop water tanks. Elisa's naked body was found inside one of the tanks. Her clothes were floating beside her, along with her personal items. The autopsy report ruled Elisa's death an accidental drowning, with no signs of trauma or foul play. However, many questions remained unanswered. The hotel roof was locked, and the water tanks were difficult to access. The tank's heavy lid was supposedly closed when her body was found. And her toxicology report showed no drugs or alcohol, except for her prescription medication for bipolar disorder. Now, some believe she may have been having a psychotic episode and climbed into the tank herself. But it still remained a mystery because who closed the lid? When Elisa Lam was first reported missing in early February 2013, her case did not gain immediate widespread attention. However, after Los Angeles police released the elevator surveillance footage on February 13, 2013, public interest exploded. The elevator video was both bizarre and unsettling, as you can see, showing Elisa behaving erratically, pressing multiple buttons, peeking outside as if someone was following her, moving her hands strangely, almost as if talking to an unseen person, the elevator doors not closing for an unusually long time. Many theories emerged online, including she was being followed by someone and trying to escape. She was under the influence of drugs, later ruled out by toxicology reports. she was having a psychotic episode due to bipolar disorder. All of these, and also even the paranormal community, said she was being chased by skinwalkers or invisible beings. Her case quickly went viral, with millions of people analyzing the footage, leading to speculation and conspiracy theories. When Elisa's body was discovered in the Cecil Hotel's rooftop, it was immersed in the water tank. Public reaction ranged from shock to suspicion. Suspicion of foul play. Many people could not believe Elisa climbed into the water tank on her own. The tank's heavy lid was supposedly closed, leading some to believe someone must have put her inside and then shut it. Some theorize she was murdered and her death was covered up. It wouldn't be the first time someone was murdered inside the Cecil Hotel. Given the Cecil Hotel's dark history, murders, suicides, and serial killers staying there, some believed ghosts or supernatural forces were involved. The elevator's strange behavior, like not closing properly, fueled ghost-related theories. Elisa's case eerily resembled the 2002 horror movie Dark Water, where a girl drowns in a rooftop water tank and guests unknowingly use contaminated water. Some speculated this was more than a coincidence. Mental health advocates, however, emphasized that Elisa was struggling with bipolar disorder and that her erratic behavior was likely due to an episode. Some saw the case as a reminder of the dangers of untreated or poorly managed mental illness. Now, why was the elevator acting strange? One of the most puzzling aspects of the Elisa Lam case is the elevator footage, which shows the doors remaining open unusually long, despite Elisa pressing multiple buttons, moving strangely, stepping in and out of the elevator as if hiding or waiting for someone also didn't help. The elevator appearing to malfunction, only closing after she leaves. Possible explanations for the elevator phenomenon. The Cecil Hotel's elevators have a door hold button, which, when pressed, keeps the doors open for up to 2 minutes. Elisa may have accidentally pressed it while pressing multiple buttons, causing the doors to stay open longer than expected. Once the delay time passed, the elevator resumed normal function after she left. Possible technical issues with the elevator. The Cecil Hotel was an old building built in 1924 with many reported maintenance problems. Some former guests claimed the elevators were slow, sometimes malfunctioned, or had delays closing. However, no confirmed reports suggest that the specific elevator in Elisa's case had a known history of malfunctions or ghostly behavior. Another theory: someone was controlling the elevator remotely. Some theorists believe a hotel employee or someone with access was manipulating the elevator, possibly to keep Elisa on that floor. However, no evidence supports this, and no hotel staff reported elevator issues that day. Now, last but not least, the paranormal theory. It has been explored inside and out. Because of the Cecil Hotel's dark history, some believe supernatural forces were at play. The elevator's failure to close, Elisa's odd hand movements, and her sudden disappearance fueled ghost theories. Some link her case to the Korean elevator game, an urban legend where players follow a sequence of buttons to enter another dimension. Now, you may ask about the cameras. Were there other cameras in the hallways? Yes, yes, there were. But the hotel has never released hallway footage from that night, leading to even more speculation. If there were cameras, why weren't more videos shown? Did hotel management hide or erase crucial evidence? Was there someone else in the hallways that night? Some believe the police only released the elevator footage because it was the only relevant clip. Others think that additional footage could have explained more, but was withheld for unknown reasons. Now, the case inspired Netflix 2021 documentary crime scene, The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel, which explored both the mystery and the misinformation surrounding Elisa's death. Online, true crime communities and YouTubers continue to debate what really happened. The Cecil Hotel has since rebranded, but the case remains one of the most infamous stories even today. Elisa Lam's story continues to haunt and intrigue people worldwide. Be careful out there, especially in hotels where you don't know the people, and especially when you are sleeping in hostels where people may be behaving erratic. Those roommates were right to report Elisa. And not only that, the hotel should have contacted the authorities, seeing that she was in some type of distress. She would have had to contact her parents as well, and maybe her life would have been saved. But this is not pointing the finger, because she was a grown adult trying to make her way in life. All we can do now is say, please watch out for each other. Thank you for joining the Fairfax Files. I will see you next Friday. If you have a case, please put it down below and I will cover it. Have yourself an amazing day, and please be safe out there. Be good to yourself and be good to others.